Hey, how you doing? I wanted to do a little video today as a as an inspiration to lift the souls of anyone who's really suffering from all of the events that are going on around us, especially the event in Orlando. And I know so many of our hearts are just broken, not only for the victims who lost their lives at gunfire, but the families who now have to endure those devastating losses. I can't even imagine. And all I can say that might help a few of you out there that are listening to this today is this. If your heart is heavy, if you're filled with sadness, the first thing to do is to just cry and let it out. I had been holding it in, and I didn't even realize how much I was holding it until I woke up this morning. And I had all this heaviness in my heart, and sadness, and angst, and nervousness. And then I started to have all of these dark thoughts about someone who had hurt me very badly in my life, that I didn't deserve, that I had helped so dearly, and they had done awful things in return for the kindnesses that I had shown them. And that's because it was a parallel to what was really bothering me, which was Orlando. And so I cried for a long time. And then I realized I had pain in my heart, that there was anger. There was anger at perceived enemies that I didn't even know. And I thought, wow, I'm not accustomed to feeling like that. So I meditated, and what came in the meditation was to try and find love. Try and find love. I started simply with the people who'd hurt me in my life. They were the easiest ones to look to find some love for and to connect with. And I rose to the occasion, and I was able to do that. The next most difficult thing was to find love for people who often are perceived as monsters in this world, who do terrible, terrible, terrible acts to others who are innocent and destroy lives, countless lives, and create anger in other people and pain. And when I connected in love, it did two things. First thing it did is it took me out of anger. And the minute that happened, those people who had committed such atrocities no longer had control over me. Because when we're in anger, it's not the other person that's hurting. They don't feel it. We hurt. And it affects us. So that was the first sense that I had. The second sense that I had when I was able to connect in love is that anybody that causes immense pain to other people, especially if they're innocent, must have so much pain within them that would cause them to do it. And I reflected back on this morning when I felt that sadness and anger, and the sadness was causing the anger, and the anger was causing me to have a reaction toward people that I didn't even know, that I might be angry at them for something they hadn't even done. So then I went to this space of we are all one. And I realized that the hardest part of connecting in love to darkness was in finding that same darkness within myself and finding love for the dark parts of me. So I started to look at times in my life that I might have been selfish and caused pain to others, or raised my voice to a loved one when I was feeling short or impatient, or lied, not just to another, but maybe to myself, or allowed myself to be taken for granted, or whatever it was that I perceived as a dark part of my soul, to find love for that. That was probably the hardest part of the meditation. And then I found love for the parts of me that are beautiful and good and care about everybody that crosses my path. By the time I'd finished the meditation, I'd gotten back into my heart, and it felt like me again. I wasn't angry. I wasn't hating people I didn't know. I was still sad. I still felt hollowed by the senseless devastation. And my compassion and empathy have been huge all day. My tears have been flowing, and I even did a vigil tonight, which also will help. If you do some kind of a ceremony or a vigil, light a candle, say prayers, send love to those who passed and those who are living. That also helps. That's the third piece. So, A, acknowledging that we feel really bad about something and what that something really is when we go deeper. B, tapping into love and remembering who we truly are and not letting other people's pain and heinous acts hold us hostage by keeping us in pain and anger. And finally, finding love for ourselves and realizing that it's when we're in pain, when we're in anger, that we're capable of doing things that aren't productive to the world around us. So I hope this helps. I hope it brings some peace to someone that's watching. And I send you so much love and goodness, and hope that you're able to do the same with everyone who crosses your path, because we all need it right now. Even when people smile, when they seem like they're unaffected, every one of us is affected. We're all affected by each other's pain. We're all affected by what's going on in the world around us. And we are all one, ultimately, at some level, even in the moments that it doesn't seem that way. Okay. Good night.